Here's my Norcold fridge in my RV. What I want to show you here is an easy fix if your locks aren't working correctly. And so what these little gray levers are meant to do is to lock your door in the partially open position. Right there. Having the door partially open like that lets the refrigerator air out. For example, if you get home from a trip, unload the fridge, turn the fridge off, you don't want any moisture in there. Now if we look here at this one, that one is not engaging. I've got the lever pushed over and it's not engaging in the slot. And there's those two holes right there. So those little gray levers, push those in and they then protrude into those two little holes. And this is the little lever right here. So if we look at the two hinges here, this is the top, and this is actually a screwed in pin that drops down through the hinge bracket, and then the pin drops into the top of the door. And then on the bottom hinge we have the pin that's permanently fastened to the bracket here, and then the door slips down over the top of that pin. And then if we look at the top of the hinge, we can see that there's a little bit of a gap there. So what I'm going to do is open up the freezer door, and I'm going to push up on it, and we can see that that gap closes up. So what we want to do is raise this door up some. So look down at the bottom here, you can see that I've already done that to the bottom of the refrigerator door. What I did was took the upper hinge pin off, that threaded one, lifted up on the door and pulled the door up off the top of this lower hinge pin, and then inserted a thick nylon washer which I picked up from a local hardware store. And that washer is actually the perfect size for that hinge pin. So we'll do the same for the top. And I've got this pin unthreaded. Then we'll just pull it out like that. And here's what the hinge pin looks like that's threaded. So right at the top is where the threads are, so that threads down into the hinge bracket. And here's my nylon washer. So what I did was I took the refrigerator door off, took that pin into my hardware store, and then found that nylon washer. It's a perfect fit. So we'll drop that nylon washer over the lower hinge pin and then reinstall the door. And now I have the hinge pin installed on the top, and then my washer showing here on the bottom of the freezer door hinge. So now we can see that this latch works perfectly. And if you look close in there, you can see how the gray lever is slid in just a little bit. Now I can prop my refrigerator open so that it airs out after a trip. And one other little tip is that these levers won't slide in when your latch handle is in the fully retracted or closed position. You see you can't push it. So when you try to engage those into the door or the door frame, you actually have to pull out on the handle. Pull out on it like that, then it will slide over. If the handle is in the relaxed position, it won't move, and you can see why. And that gives the door about, probably a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch gap. And if you didn't like the looks of the white washer there, you could possibly find black washers. My hardware store didn't have any black, or if you have a white, just take a white Sharpie and color the perimeter of it before you install the washer.